Hey, this is Sky, and welcome to my YouTube channel. And today I want to quickly try to go through a process of forgiveness that I use in order to help me get over traumatic experiences from my past, anger, resentment, grudges, thoughts of revenge on people, and that type of thing. We all have experiences from our past and people in our past where we just hate their guts. Their name comes up and we're just like, want to spit on their fucking name. We just get all pissed off. It could be an ex-wife. It could be somebody who screwed you over. There's all kinds of experiences that I have personally in my past with ex-girlfriends, ex-friends, family members, where I have grudges and resentment, and I don't like those people, and for specific reasons. And it's good to go through a process of forgiveness, to forgive those people, not simply because you want to be around them again, not because you're going to give them a pass, not because you're letting them get away with something. That's not what I'm talking about at all. That's not what I mean by forgiveness. I mean that you really have to go through a process of releasing the anger that you have towards those people. You can't carry that with you forever. That anger is not making you stronger, it's making you weaker. You don't want to go to your deathbed holding in anger towards others. You want to be able to die and take your last breath on this planet with nothing but love in and around you. That's how you make it to the next level. If you hold on to anger and resentment and grudges, that doesn't make you smarter, that doesn't make you wiser, that's not helping you navigate the world. What helps you navigate the world is your process of forgiveness, is how you deal with those scenarios and how you move on from them. To hold grudges and hold in anger is not moving on. So I've had to learn this stuff about myself as I've gone down the line with my personal development and list and tried to become healthier mind, body, and soul. I realized that one of the things that I've had to work on is my anger and my forgiveness of others, especially those that have wronged me, who have sinned against me, who have done fucked up shit, to me. And I'm not really going to go and call every one of them and be like, yeah, remember that time that you cheated on me and we were engaged? Well, I forgive you. That's not what I'm talking about. The stuff I'm talking about is all internal, because we have to get through our day from the time we wake up to the time we go to sleep, and we all have families and jobs and chores and all kinds of stuff that you have to be able to do, but you also have to be able to be happy and healthy and to live a healthy mind, body, and soul lifestyle. So in order to be able to do that, you can't be walking around with grudges and resentment. So it's important to be able to release it. So the process that I've created in order to do that is creative visualization. And what I would do is I will pick a person that I have a particular resentment against. And I will imagine myself, because you can't always do this in person. And even if you tried to, shit can backfire in your face because you can't control how people react. But in your visualization, in your own mind, you can control every aspect of it because it's inside your head. So you do this as a meditation. You can do this on a nice walk by the beach or wherever you like to go and walk. You could do this sitting on your couch, but it's a visualization. And I would visualize, it's a hard word to say, myself with that other person standing opposite each other, say, for example, in a room. And I will imagine that the emotional attachment that we have, it could be, I could have anger towards this person, resentment, fear, there could be a whole range of emotions. And each one of those emotions, I'll imagine as a physical cord stretching out of my body and connecting to their body. So I imagine two people, me and this other person, that I'm like, fuck them. And then cords, emotional cords, that each cord is a different type of emotional attachment connecting us both. And I will look at them in the eyes and I will tell them, I forgive you. I forgive you for what you did to me. I forgive you for hurting me. I forgive you. And I will cut each one of those cords. I cut the anger cord. I cut all of them, so there's none. And as I cut them, they go back into her or him, whoever the person is, and I have none anymore. And I thank them for being in my life. I thank them for teaching me the lessons I needed to learn in order to navigate my path more successfully. And I leave, and when you walk away, that's it. You're done. This type of creative visualization is just something that you can do in order to cut emotional ties and cords with people that are from your past. And you could do this with an ex-girlfriend that you or an ex-wife or somebody that you have a strong emotional attachment to. It doesn't have to be anger or hatred, but the whole point of it is to move on from that relationship, to move on from that scenario, to be able to forgive whoever harmed you, whoever wronged you, whoever, whatever they did, to forgive them. I mean, in kind of like a Jesus way, the way Jesus went around forgiving motherfuckers. That's what you're doing. That's some pretty high shit. And it takes repetition. I'm not able to do this on the first shot and be like, well, there you go. That was great. Next. I would do this. So say if I want to pick somebody that I have a emotional attachment towards, that I have regret or anger or resentment, and then I need to go through a process of forgiveness, simply not because I'm trying to love them again, not because I'm giving them a pass, like I said, but because I need to be able to move on with my life, and I need to be able to get rid of that shit. So, I will go through that same scenario that I just described, like every day, do it for 10 minutes, do it for like a month, and you'll find that at the end of that month, it's easy. In the beginning, the first couple times you do it, you won't want to forgive them. You'll want to kill them. It'll be really hard to forgive them. You'll want to rehash the argument, whatever it was. You'll be arguing with yourself, sitting there taking both sides, playing both sides of the argument. It's all part of the process. And as you practice that more and more and more and more, you'll find that forgiving that person is really easy. And you're done with that. And you're no longer, with that one scenario, you're no longer walking around all the time holding on to a little closet full of anger, waiting to unleash it when that topic comes up or that person's name gets mentioned or whatever. You're done. You've released it. And the next step, the next stage of this is to forgive yourself. So what I do is another visualization. I imagine myself as I am now, the person who's wishing to do the forgiveness and to release the anger and emotion inside, pent up bullshit. And I imagine myself from that scenario. You want to pick a specific scenario that you're forgiving or person. I imagine myself back in that time frame. And so say, for example, if I want to forgive the man who murdered my father, that's a big one. I'll sit there as I am now at 48, and I will look at myself when I was 20, when all that happened. And I will be standing opposite myself at 20, and I will tell myself in a creative visualization, you tell yourself that I forgive you. It's okay. Whatever you went through, the emotional pain, the trauma, how you reacted to that scenario, what you went through, I forgive you for all of that. And it's really important. It'll feel goofy at first. It won't feel like it means much at first. It's not like you're going to sit there and be like, oh, and start break down and crying and be like, that was so powerful. You're going to have to repeat this over and over again. It's like working out. And all of a sudden you start noticing results. And you're like, whoa, this shit is working. And the part about forgiving yourself is so key. You can do that quickly. The whole setting up the scenario with the other person and doing that, that may take a little bit more creative visualization effort. The forgiving yourself, you could do very quickly. I suggest to do one after the other. So start with, pick, if it's your ex-wife, pick your ex-wife, stand next to her, cut those cords, forgive her, tell her, thank her, walk away, and then you're going to walk right over and talk to yourself when you were yourself when you married that woman. And you're going to forgive yourself for getting into the relationship, or forgive yourself for whatever it is that happened. I forgive myself for not seeing that she was cheating on me the whole time. I forgive myself for being so stupid to not see the signs that, or whatever. Forgive yourself for that shit. We're only human. Everybody makes mistakes. We make mistakes on others, and we make mistakes, stupid mistakes that sabotage ourselves. You have to forgive yourself for those sabotaging mistakes. We all have a part that we play in every single scenario. Sure, my father getting murdered wasn't my fault, but how I reacted to that was, sure, it was my goddamn fault. Nobody told me to spiral out of control into a drug-induced, alcohol-fueled robbery spree that lasted for 5 years across 30 states. Nobody told me to do that. I chose to do that. And how we choose to react to things in this life is all on us. And going through this type of process of forgiveness, you'll find that it releases you from your past, releases you not only internally and externally from the things that haunted you from your past, but it trains you in a way to handle the things that happen in your present or that may happen in your future. So it's a really good technique to go through this process of forgiveness. It's a really emotionally intelligent way to start thinking, and it's the key towards dying right. You want to die right. Start thinking about that shit now. It's not morbid. When you're healthy, think about how you're going to die. Take your last breath. Who's going to be around you, what you're going to be thinking, what you're going to say, what kind of person you're going to be. Die right. One of the keys to dying right is to let go of all the bullshit that haunted you for your whole life. Let go of all that anger, resentment. You don't need to be a warrior on your last breath. You don't need to be holding up shields and armor. You want to be surrounded by love and have nothing but love exuding from you, to be a little love machine as you take your last breath. You want to have good karma as you go through your last thoughts in this realm. And we have all the power in the world as we're alive to handle that now. So dealing with the past, dealing with your internal self, forgiveness of others will help you to take that last breath and to say, this was a pretty good life. I'm ready for what's next. And that's what it's all about. So thanks for listening. I hope this was helpful. Forgiveness is a big topic that I'm thinking about a lot these days, and I go through this, what I've just said, I go through this all the time. I'm not just trying to preach some self-help bullshit. I'm just talking about what I go through. So I found that forgiveness is kind of a weird and hard topic to find. Trust me, I have put it into the YouTube search engine, and you're not going to find tens of thousands of videos on forgiveness. It's a weird thing. So I figured I'd make one since it's something that I think about a lot. Thanks for listening.